Berries and cream, berries and cream. I'm a little boy who likes berries and cream. Broadcasting live from the I thumb my nose at thee, sir. Ravaged bayous of Louisiana. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah. It's been a long week, everybody. A long week. And I would love to tell you that I know exactly what I was going to do today. I just had a glorious thought. Was like, here, I'll plan it all out and everything like that. But I got to mess with Abby's stuff. Figure Fight Club. How you doing, Abby? Stu in the house with his glorious chaos. The smudge. Not any smudge. Not that one. Not the thing you're thinking. The smudge. Kaiju Kitty. We're going to get into a little bit more about that vinyl here in a little bit. Mr. Mikey, how you doing? When you eat that whole hot dog, did you get that hot dog? My cohort, Mr. Talib. Yo, Joe Daddy. Yo, Joe Daddy. I just, no, I'm just kidding. How you doing, bud? Dens. Oh, listen, for anybody who missed it on the show the other night, Mr. Dens was the recipient of our sending action force to Colombia through a whole international shipping is always I'm not past my 3-minute mark, so I can't really express exactly what I think of international shipping, but all packages have been received. The action figures and the Vanguard that had to take a little detour for some of that specialty fuel, but it made it. And this coming Tuesday on Figure Fight Club open mic night, the first half hour of the show is going to be an unboxing. Dens, he is chomping at the bit to get in these boxes. And the fact that he hasn't snuck a peek, I imagine he was perfect on Christmas morning because his parents never had to worry about him sneaking them packages before it was time to open them. So everything got there this Tuesday. Figure Fight Club open mic night. Open mic night. We're doing an unboxing. We're gonna get the first time Dens has got Action Force in his hands. There's some other goodies in that box too. No spoilers. And it promises to be must-see TV. So make sure check your TV guides for time and dates. And if you're not sub to Figure Fight Club, myself, Talib, 1980 _ collects, we always have that going. But your best bet is just to like, subscribe, and just flick that little bell on Figure Fight Club. That way, you know what's happening. So, and let's see who else we got here tonight. Oh yeah, I know it took. Man, I honestly I thought that Vanguard had been driven off a cliff. That Cooter, hey, how you doing, man? You break down that 350 and get them lifters rebuilt. We got a race this weekend. Got a race. Man, you can't wait. You know what? Listen, this is where I screwed up. So I know, I know why that small box got there, and the box that I put the Vanguard into. Um, so the small box was just a regular box, no markings, just said send to Dens. The second box, I didn't want to get it beat around and ship it in the same box that, Vala Verse ships in, because I knew international, you never know how it's going to go. So I put it in another box, and that box was a box that said Granger. So I think somebody down there was like, I bet there's some tools in that box. It says Granger. It could be anything, toilet paper or, some really nice tools. Better just hold on to this one for just a little bit longer. And then somebody peeked or X-rated or something, was like, it's a toy truck, man. I ain't holding this shit up for some fucking Tonka. Get it on out the door. So yeah, that oh, Mr. Pete, welcome. I gotta share this. So I got my Cold Slither album. And this is from Piranha Records, is who did this pressing. And they're out of Texas. Pretty close, which is hilarious because when they shipped this, it had to go all the way to Chicago, cheat down, and then come all the way back down here. And man, I'm going to tell you, this is a fantastic pressing. And if you know, you know. I mean, it says RPM exclusive, and I got the orange and gray marble. And I mean, it is just that thing is beautiful. And I cannot wait. And I mean, listen, everybody can joke, hey, that's a band from a 80s cartoon. But I'm going to tell you, the people who put this together, this is definitely some, I'm never getting it back in here. Everybody watching me grab this album with my nasty fingers. This was something that, there's plenty of criticism that you can give to Hasbro for whatnots and other things like that. But this right here is something they absolutely did not have to do. And I got my Cold Slither. I have not opened it, my little 4-pack. They didn't, they ought to really be congratulated on that. Not everybody's going to get it. Not everybody's a record head. I've always been a little bit of an audiophile. I had a really nice record collection until recently, and I let it go. And once again, I'm kicking myself in the ass. I'm pretty sure I'm inheriting my dad's records from the 70s. He's got all the Beatles stuff and things like that. But Hasbro did not have to go out of their way to do this. They could have released that Cold Slither exclusive for San Diego Comic-Con, and everybody who wanted it would have been happy. Everybody who said they didn't want it but really did want it and are bitching about how they couldn't get it, that should have been enough. But they went and got some really good names in a lot of in some of the independent circuits. Um, oh yeah, I mean, listen, yeah, Ross, yeah. They're doing an East Coast. Ghoul is doing an East Coast tour right now, and for some reason, Ross always disappears when Ghoul goes on tour. I, it's funny how that happens. Just kind of like at it was a step above, and nobody's giving them props for it. I mean, it just nobody talked about that record. Nobody talked about the show. I don't think they expected it to go the way they thought it was going to, because the way I understand it is that little concert they had at San Diego was beyond standing room only. You weren't getting in the door. So, hey, Kyle, 112 scale. I've seen, feel free to enter. I would love to enter. I hope you're doing well too, bud. I ain't seen you around. I ain't, listen, the last few weeks, I know I didn't do an episode last week. Um, my, I don't, I live my life online. But I also don't want to, give out business that's not my own. But what, as I say down here in Louisiana, what had happened was, my wife went to play Dungeons and Dragons with her friends one day, and 2 hours later, she was in the emergency room getting prepared for um, emergency gallbladder surgery. So just snip it out. Apparently, it was 5 times larger. Um, it was bad. It was probably to the point of rupturing, and she's got really extreme arthritis. So the medication that she takes for that makes anything a hazard for her. So it was a very scary time. And I am a useless twat without my missus. I wholly concede to a matriarchal society. She's got a really cute butt and she lets me touch it. So I was just pretty much solely focused on her and not losing my fucking mind. So she got through it. She got through the surgery. Um, yes, she's doing okay now. She is a go-getter. She's put up with me for, as of this last July 16th, 23 years. And anybody who could put up with me for 23 minutes, let alone 23 years, is one tough biatch. She's a good woman. And I was losing my shit. So, and it's where we got a lot of other things going on. I'm not going to get into, but teaching school has begun. My wife is a teacher, and it's not a good time to be a biological scientist and teach that. And that there's all I'm gonna say about that. So yeah, hey, oh good, you did. I was gonna tell you, go over to Action Figure Addict. All you have to do is type in hashtag 300 giveaway in his last stream, and you are entered. Giveaway enters giveaway ends August 17th. All right, fantastic. So do that, everybody, and after you put in hashtag 300, put in hashtag Kyle owes me 10 cents for every put in Kylo's max 50 cents. That way he knows it's for me. So anyway, yeah, so that's been that and just everything else going on. I was just off. So I missed all the juicy bits of drama that are man, honestly, I don't the only thing I'm gonna say about it is I don't think either side looked really really good in that situation. But maybe I've just been around too many tattoo conventions, because let me tell you, the shit that happens that qualifies as drama at a toy convention, you pull some shit like that in at a tattoo convention, and holy shit, dude. Everybody, you know what? They're gonna roll the starter, they're gonna roll the finisher, and then they're gonna kick all y'all fucking out. So but I damn sure not one of those people who are like, can't we all just be friends? Because there's some cunts out there that I just absolutely can't wait to see fall. And I'm sure that they're happy with the fall that is Max Tucker. So the day I announced that I was officially retired from tattooing, I'm pretty sure that there were more than a few people out there going, because it ain't who does it best, it's who does it longest. So I definitely, that's I didn't miss shit. Yeah, I just I don't know. I honestly I don't even have to. Um, I kind of rewatched a little bit of it. Got about 5 minutes into it, and I was just like, "This is some stupid shit," and that was. But you know, it. You always got to kind of. I don't know. It's, if nothing else, it definitely got some attention drawn to. Is it next weekend or the week after? I think that the Toy Tuber Expo um, is happening. You can go on Articulated Ninja's page, and yeah, who knows kaiju? Seriously, I can't keep up. Okay, it is next weekend. Yeah, next weekend you've got the Toy Tuber Expo. You've got a whole bunch of fucking egos and personalities all in one room. Honestly, I don't think they've got a ruler big enough for the cock measuring contest that's going to be happening. It's going to be huge, man. I joke, but seriously, Articulated Ninja reviews, check them out. The Figure Ladies on the Find My Figure Ladies. Oh, bless both of them, because they are doing the Lord's work. The Lord's work. And it check them both out. Check out the Toy Tuber Expo. If you're on the East Coast, I mean, holy shit, dude. Seriously, the East Coast, I-95 exists for a reason. You can get anywhere on the East Coast in about 2 to 3 hours. It just, drive it like you stole it. So definitely you're going to want to check out that show. this year is going to be, it's still going to be something, but what it's going to grow into, I think, is going to be something amazing. So it's something to watch for. The vendors they've got there. I mean, any show, they got Bobby Valla showing up. Bobby fucking Valla. He never leaves the fucking house. He's going to this. You know, who's seen that guy in the last 2 months? Nobody. He just, he's exclusive, baby. Who's Bobby Valla? I don't know what this shit. Y'all hydrating? Who out there? Everybody hydrate. So, honestly, I was so much cock. It's a literal sausage fest. Jai's good, Wiener. You got the Wiener Schnitzel. I swear to God, we get this is what'll sell it. We get Articulated Ninja in some lederhosen and with the little hat, and dude, ticket sales will skyrocket. Man, just hitchhike. That's what we used to do back in the day. Anytime somebody told me that I couldn't go somewhere, I just stuck out a thumb. Of course, now they pretty much they think you're a crazy person if you do some shit like that, and you might be, because seriously, hitchhiking in 2025 is almost I don't think that's right. Holy crap. So I was getting out a paintbrush, but it looks kind of gross. I might have needed to change out that water. That's oh, tell me this other one's not that bad. This other one is that bad. Shoot. Oh. Damn it. Well, oh, Lord have mercy. So these are little brushes. They have water. You just squeeze this, the water comes out. You can do some watercolor with them. And I haven't really messed with these since I cleared out my art studio. And that has been too long. So that water in there, and I always put distilled water, has gotten funky. So I was going to do a watercolor painting tonight, just screwing around, and I may have to find another. Oh, you know what? I got another. I got brushes. I guess we'll just do it old school Japanese style. That is. Oh, look at all the shit I got. I got paper and everything. Oh. Here's something you don't see every day. Ooh. I bet not many people know what that's for. Or if they know what it's for, how many people out there actually know how to use it? But, I Anyway, before I oh god, those brushes were fucking disgusting. um so what that was called an Ames guide, and it's what you used to use for lettering. And almost all early comic books were all lettered with an Ames guide, and you were a pretty hot commodity in comic books if you knew how to use an Ames guide and use it well. And there's still a few people out there who still know how to use it, but Ames guides are kind of shit. We live in a digital age, so Ames guides are kind of going the way of the dodo. But I'm an old schooler, so you know what I was going to do tonight? I was going to sit here for an hour and just say, shut the fuck up over and over and over. I still might do that one night. That's all I was going to do. I was just going to get on and just say, shut up for an hour. Just like, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Hey, shut up. Yeah, just do that for over an hour. I don't know why. It seemed like a good idea. I was going to read a book as well, and I still want to do that. It's a book. It's called The Haunted Bookshop. But I don't know entirely how much trouble you can get into reading certain books. I know if I started, like if I started reading The Hobbit, I'm pretty sure I would get a copyright strike. No, maybe not a strike, but I'm fairly certain I would get a warning. I'm not sure how that works. YouTube is a funny place. I was supposed to be broadcasting on Facebook as well tonight, but apparently this is a YouTube exclusive. So what else we got going on tonight? Is this it? Everybody just 30 minutes and I'm pretty much So here's something for you. So I might have shown this off a time or two, but we're going to actually use it tonight. This, if you're familiar with Studio Ghibli, however the fuck you say it, this is a Hayao Miyazaki watercolor palette. This is the exact same watercolor palette that Hayao Miyazaki uses. They are what's called whole bean paints and a whole bean palette. You can put your little thumb in there and just paint. I spent about $400 putting this thing together because there's a couple of these, I believe. This green hasn't been produced since like 1985, and there was another color. I don't remember which one. It might be that red or the opera, the really bright, it's a super hot pink. But anyway, this is exactly the way if you ever see any of Hayao Miyazaki's watercolor work, or any of his, um, the word is escaping me at the moment. Um, Basically thumbnails for, screen work. Uh, this is what he uses verbatim. It matches a lot with, also another set of colors that Studio Ghibli uses for all their background work. So if you're ever just like looking and you see those beautiful clouds and everything from Howl's Moving Castle or something like that, and you see those beautiful blues and everything like that, it's a paint set that is for doing like signs and shit like that. It's not what you'd expect. So that's okay. You ain't got to be a toy collector. We're talking about watercolors now. So, shit, give me 15 minutes and I might start talking about how to, break down and clean carbon off of an AR-15 bolt. Yeah, you never know. You guys want to talk about Trijicon SRS? How about anybody got $2,200 they want to pay for a red dot? I got you. 2,200, 1,200. Sorry. See, look at the deal you're already getting. I knocked $1,000 off of the price, out the gate. So, but anyway, this is what Hayao Miyazaki uses for all his watercolor work. And to really understand an artist, especially one who works with color or painting like that, I'm predominantly, when I deal with color, for doing miniatures and sculptures and things like that, I definitely use acrylic. But and I do have, a few of the acrylic watercolors from, not sponsored but amazing, Waverly Color Company. These are probably some of the best watercolors next to the whole beans that I've got over here. You won't have to spend $400 getting a set of these. So, hey, how you doing, Bob? Waverly Color Company. Just Google it. I promise you, if you're into watercolors, you're looking for a really good set of something, they last forever. They got just little proper droppers. You open it up, and it's just all you need to do is just take a little drop. Oh, and look, it's one little drop, and you could paint with that little drop for at least a day. I mean, a little dab will do you with this shit. I've had this same set for, oh geez, God, I bet at least 7, 8 years, and I'm still not through. I've had to reorder a white, and I think I'm finally halfway through a yellow, and I use some yellow. I need to get one of those little shaky things that just like, a little Sibian chair for your watercolor. Check it out on my OF. Nothing but shaking paint bottles. I used to have, oh dear God, I'm pretty sure it might be one of the contributing factors as to why I have seizures. But I've got this, it's called a check sorter, and it's just this little chunk, heavy as shit. And you'd put your checks in, and it's a paper sorter, and it just vibrates to the point where, everything just falls in line. And I used to use that for mixing a lot of my tattoo colors, until I discovered the wonders of science magnetic stirs. So now I've got little magnetic pellets in the bottom of all my things, and I set it on this stir, and it just spins this thing around. And I'm about to sell off all my tattoo pigments, and whoever gets that, I'm gonna have to send that electric stir with them, because I ain't fishing all them damn pellets out. Um, that I am still Miyazaki is a man of his time. The styles of anime that he's worked on as an animator shows his ability to make anything look good. And listen, it not even the animation. I mean, seriously, look into. He's got some hardcover books that are nothing but his watercolor um, experiments on. I got three of them. I've got Kiki's Delivery Service, and I've got the love of my life, Nausicaa, which was something that I just, as a child, I could not get enough of that movie. We were one of the families. My parents had HBO as a kid, and Nausicaa was always on. Every day, you knew you could turn on HBO as a kid, and you were catching some point in Nausicaa. I had that movie memorized before I knew the fucking alphabet. So no, it came out a little later than that. But it's his watercolors. If you really appreciate Miyazaki, just Google his watercolor work. And it's all going to be stuff that you're going to be familiar with already. And you're going to be like, this looks like some fan art. And it is. He's going through and he's breaking down what each of these films, the style and what it's going to look like and everything, before any animation cell is ever made. So oh, Max, do you like Hayao Miyazaki? You like his movies? Oh, I can't tell. Just thought I'd ask. Yeah, but I liked his movies. I will still like his movies. Probably against what he thinks. I like his son's movies. I like anime in general. I wish as Americans we could get more used to that, especially seeing how we're responsible for anime, period. You always had kind of Japan's always been an artistic country. You had plenty of watercolors, the wood cuttings, holy crap, his name escapes me. I've got 6 of his books in my library. Some of the artists of the Edo period and things like that. And so you always had a strong art, but when they started seeing Disney movies, anime took off from there, and they made it their own. And I never understood why we as Americans are just like, oh, and cartoons, that's kid stuff. And it's gotten a little bit better, but not to the point like it is in Japan. Japan, you can watch years of anime and never watch a single one that was made or produced for anyone under 18. And I'm not talking about hentai or anything like that. There's that. but I'm just talking about just regular, animation that is 100% for adults. Adult situation, and not even action adventure and things like that. I'm talking about it just, you know, you got some anime that's just nothing but a cut from life. There was one that I watched. Um, was really, really good. Unfortunately, I think it was on Netflix. Um, but it was just Japan was sinking. Like Mount Fuji had erupted and the islands were sinking, and it was just people trying to go from, where they were to high ground. And it was, man, it was brutal. Um, One guy who was just standing there 1 minute mid sentence, he just dies. Volcanic gases hit him and he just drops. It's like, what the kid? Yeah, it was definitely not a kid show. Um, I just kind of wish that I've long had the belief that Warner Brothers should never do anything DC related live action. None of them. I watch the movies, I don't care. Snyderverse, they're fine. Um, love them or hate them, critique them all you want. I don't give a shit. If I want to waste 2 hours, it's, they're watchable. But some of the, like, Justice League War, um, the Suicide Squad animation one that geez, I'm pretty sure. I mean, yeah, none of those are really kid. They're PG-13. I'll give them that, which is fine. That's probably where most DC animation should probably stay. The comic books have always been kind of PG-13. At least within, my time of reading. Marvel has definitely been, in PG-13. Uh, you've got language. Hell, you start getting into Valiant and some of the what was Marvel's? Somebody Marvel had a adult range. I'm trying to remember what the name of that line was. Um, Bloody hell. Uh, Come on, chat. Help me out here. Nobody wants to talk about Gundam Wing. Yeah, they both do have real Iron Blooded Orphans had some really great art too. But I'm also I mean, listen, I can take I want to use Final Fantasy video games as an example for this. Um I can deal with less quality art if I have a great story. Final Fantasy, the original on NES, was 8-bit little guys. You look at it today and you're like, I'm pretty sure it would just hurt your mind, to play some of those old 8-bit games. And but the story was outstanding. Final Fantasy, of course, the release here in the US was Final Fantasy 3. still to this day, probably the greatest. I think it's Final Fantasy VI in Japan. If Kaiju Daddy was here, he'd know. Who the fuck is that guy anyway? But Final Fantasy VI in Japan, Final Fantasy III in the US is still probably one of the greatest Final Fantasy stories ever written. It's amazing. And it's the way storytelling should be. You know, most animes that I really, really, really like, they start out slow. Like they know real quick. It's like they opened up a club and for the first and it's a techno place and they know that they got all the hottest techno stars coming, but they ain't gonna let them play for at least the first 2 hours. First 2 hours, they're gonna play some, little bluegrass, slow it down, throw some, Tchaikovsky on there, so something on there, and let somebody's niece come on and sing "Happy Birthday." That it's gonna be for the first 2 hours. It's just gonna be, oh my god, this sucks. And then all of a sudden, right in the fucking balls, man, and it never stops from there on. That's good anime. You got to earn the end of that story because the first half of it's going to be but anyway, that yeah, I mean, they are way better than the action. I mean, you can't, you can compare them, of course you can. We're human beings. Comparing is what we do. um it This fire kind of hot, this one really hot, gonna stay in the middle. That the comparison is what keeps us alive. But live action movies and animated movies are always it's their own genre. I'm fine with both of them existing, but I definitely think that if Warner Brothers had just said, you know what, we're going to go all in on the animation. We're going to hire some of, bring in some of these top animators. I'm talking animatrix style stuff, Sturgill Simpson. I mean, holy crap. Bring in just some of these guys and we're going to do. If I had my way, we've got more than enough fucking origin stories. Every generation we gotta redo that origin story. We gotta make sure that everybody knows it. Somebody killed Batman's parents, and he's very upset about it. No, we know, fucking we know. Oh my god, we know. What we need is just short stories. I remember as a kid, we used to have Twilight Zone, Ray Bradbury presents, Rod Sterling presents. God, we need Harlan Ellison to come back. Do some anthology style. Just say, here's DC Universe. You want to do a Batman story? Cool. You got 30 minutes. Do one. You want to do Justice League? Cool. Got 30 minutes. Do one. Bust out a story, make it a 3-parter, do whatever, but quit just thinking that you have to run the same. I'm going to say the word Star Trek format, and only a few people are going to understand what that means. Star Trek had a formula that worked. You had a initial arc set up. Then you would have a exploration setup or episode. Then you would have a person, episode. Then you might go back to that initial arc. And then you space it out like that. I think now you would probably call it the One Piece format, because you have the initial arc, and then you have a person episode, and then you have, filler shit. So, but if you did that with the DC universe and just you'd rock it. Like Tales of Star Wars from Dark Horse Comics. Oh my god. You never knew what you were gonna get. Were you getting Darth Vader versus Darth Maul that episode? Or were you getting that issue? Or were you getting some scavenger, just trying to escape some stormtroopers? You knew you were getting a good story, but you never really knew what that story was going to be. And if I had my way, if it was all up to me, because Max is running shit, I would seriously just do that. I would if I was head Zaslav's dumbass, and I had control of all the IP from Warner Brothers for DC, I would just be like, this is what we're doing. No more live action, period. Any live action projects you got going, done. I love James Gunn, but I would fire his ass. Or at least, hey, look at Creature Commandos. Holy shit. That was amazing. That Creature Command, not really my thing. I'm not really big on the whole Universal Monsters thing. I like what I like, but it why couldn't you do something like that and just and listen, they've already got winners like that. You've got precedents. You've got Justice League Unlimited. You've got Justice League. You got Superman. You got Batman, the animated series. I sigh by saying that because, they've milked that shit for all it's worth. They keep trying to hold on to that film noir animated stuff. You can have more than that. I'm not saying you got to lose it all together. I don't care about consistency in the animation. I haven't since the first day I ever watched Animatrix, where you had, all these different animators coming together, each one doing their own style, going, anthology style. Rock that, Warner Brothers. There you go. All your problems solved. Make it the story so fucking good that the adults will be like, you know what? This is good. Because, we're here. Everybody who's an adult right now, I'm a 50-year-old man. I'm a 50-year-old man, and I watch fucking cartoons. And I would rather watch cartoons than watch live action. I'm tired of actors. I'm tired of actors portraying a character who never takes his mask off, and they have to take that mask off within 5 minutes because they need them royalty payments. Because they got to get that their SAG, their SAG card will expire if they don't get that face on camera. And get that toy made. If Doom never takes off his mask, how will we get a Robert Downey Jr. in a Doom costume with the mask off, so he can get that extra $10 every year? fuck what's right. Let's see what Bob says. The DC animated movies brought Damon Wayne to life and made him big time. Damian Wayne, yeah. The Batman Damian Wayne timeline was also 100%. Damian Wayne is probably the greatest thing to happen to the Batman story since Ra's al Ghul first appeared. Batman and Ra's al Ghul are just, that's like Batman the Joker. It's you've got, that's a, yeah. Batman totally banged his daughter. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. I listen, you know, I remember as a kid picking up the comic that and I mean it was, the fury was genuine. Nobody liked Jason Todd. Nobody. But when the Joker beat him to death with a crowbar, all of a sudden everybody cared about Jason Todd. It was like, it's kind of like that kid, you know, that you always screwed with in school. You know, you picked on him, you know, thumped the back of his head and all, took his lunch money, dropped his book. The minute somebody else screwed with him, you were like, "What are you doing?" No, you didn't. Don't mess with that's my buddy. Mess with him. And yeah, then Jason Todd was like, "Yeah, there's some get back coming." But that was a fucked up issue. That, like, there's some people floating around in the world right now who just, when they first read that, not read back, you know, or the storied past, like was there day one and saw that issue and that blood and chunk dripping off that crowbar. Man, that, I hated Jason Todd. Hated. I used to have I was big into Batman. Had all the way back to issue 11, near complete collection of Batman comics. And when that Jason Todd arc started, I was just like, "Oh my God, dude, please, somebody just beat this dude. Beat him." And then they did. And I was like, man, that I couldn't get back into Batman after that comic. That one kind of screwed me up as a kid. That and it was an amazing story. It's still an amazing story. And just, you know, that cover with Batman just holding, you know, Chunky Bits Robin. And then bringing him back, Red Hood, you know, with the little nod to you know, the you know, what, who was Red Hood? Is is that Joker? You know, is it, you know, what, that they turned it around. They took a character that everybody hated. And that's the great writing that occasionally DC just grabs you with. And made him a character that, dude, Red Hood is badass. Just ask my boy Dens here. He'll tell you. He's all about that Red Hood. Oh, he got roofied? Oh, man. Poor Batman. Yeah. Yeah, that's agreed. That is a great animated film. And it just, and you know, listen, I'm all for, like, James Gunn is one of my favorite directors. I like his movies. I have my excitement and I feel good at the end of the movie. I'm not coming out of there just pissed off. James Gunn, he just makes fun movies, just like Sam Raimi. If you hate Sam Raimi movies, you need to just stop watching movies. Go rent The Notebook, and yeah. Let's see what else. Yeah, solid story over everything else, and it's proven time and time again. Um, it if you've got a great story, then your imagination will take over for bad art or anything else like that. I mean, it'll compensate, and and again, like I said, it's. I started out beating the original Final Fantasy game. And I remember, when Sid dies halfway through it, man, I'm not Sid, man. No, man, not anybody but Sid. And then they did it again, and you know, it, it's Jason Todd, man. I fucking hate that little shit. And no, man, not Jason, man. No, yeah, that that's what they did. When they found out the vote to kill Jason was fixed, they still killed him anyway. Was it fit really? I remember that they had that. That was oh, was it you send in letters or you called a number? It was something like that. What to do? And I don't remember hearing that it was fixed, but that's hilarious. I'm gonna have to look that story up. At uh, oh man, that's terrible. Um, well, I was gonna paint something, and oh yeah, 100%. Oh yeah, speaking of things that are really amazing, so as a thank you um for not dying, I got my wife a little present, and I got her a red Sonya, and it came with a 5-pack, and it came with these little Epic Hacks boss fight figures. Um, this thing right here, this one especially, the little pirate one, makes me want to go get a fish tank because it looks just like the little pirate fish tank that I used to have as a kid. But these things are phenomenal. I mean, absolutely. I got that one. It was a 5-pack. This one, my wife posed. She was like, he's doing a little curtsy, just a, how do you do? Yeah, that's the barbarian. Um, this is the little gladiator. The red Sonya she took to her craft room, so she she didn't want to open the box. And then this one, oh, that I just threw all over the ground. Um, these things got soft goods, um, just little skeletons. This one comes with a little book that I got a rat sitting on it. The accessories that come with them are fantastic. I don't know who, Epic Hacks, um, highly articulated character kit system. I hate these bases, these things right here. So anybody who knows the people who do Epic Hacks, tell them just these bases suck. Oh, Boss Fight Studios. I love Boss Fight Studios, but these bases, no, they're not. No, good. It is totally worth it. These things are fantastic. I missed out on the Abby. What was the other skeleton pack that I can't remember what it was. It wasn't Mezco. It was probably Savage Crucible or someone like that. But yeah, I think these right here with the Red Sonja, if you put in Red Sonja from Boss Fight Studios, they've got a couple different options. You don't have to buy the. You can just get the Red Sonja by herself. You can get 2 skeletons to come with her. The 5-pack is that's all the skeletons. And I can tell you right now that it was Epic Legions did the okay, so that's I don't care what Boss Fight Studios does from now on. Any skeletons that they produce, I will be picking up. 100% sure that where is just there they are. So yeah, this is Epic Hacks. It's the pirate. And you've got the Grim Spectre, the Barbarian, and the Gladiator so far. And on the back it says, collect them all. That's pretty much Boss Fight Studio. That's I want to say, if I'm correct, these guys used to be with Mythic Legion and then they broke off and did their own thing. Boss Fight Studios is Andrew Franks, Fred as Akzon, Katrina Cersei Arana, Eric Arana, Eric Ridlon, Tony Talarigo, Dave Reeves, Kate McLeod, Meredith Franks, Chris McLeod, Ryan Probosco. The card art. See, this is what I love. This is the way it should be done. I know Valaverse does this too. Card art was done by Lawston Wallace and Matt Webb, and congrats to both of them. The card art on these is fantastic, and I love that they give credit to the people who are doing that. Like I said, I know Valaverse does that, and it is fantastic. Give credit where credit is due. Oh, is Boss Fight? Hold on, let me see. Yeah, Savage Crucible. See, I don't really know. Oh, they have a luchador skeleton. Yeah, I need to find that one. Is that who Boss Fights is? Is that Savage Crucible? There's so many different ones, and some of them have broken off on other ones or something like that. I know that Red Sonja is fantastic. Um, no. Okay, cool. Thank you. Boss fight is separate. Good. Good. So I stand until my Elric shows up. I still do not own a Mythic Legion or Savage Crucible. Nothing against either of those companies. I've just been tempted, and I am trying to avoid further temptation. And also, I am broke as fuck. So at I don't want to get into all that, but yeah, it's it I was gonna paint, but I just don't feel like it. And you ever just I don't know. Oh my god, you got that dragon coming? Jeez, I don't even know. Listen, y'all want to see a big dragon? I got I got one. Hey, little assistant, bring vodka over and the remote. Right, it's all right over there. I got a dragon. Y'all want to see the best dragon ever made? Okay, technically it's a dinosaur. Little assistant has just informed me of. Where's the buttons? Oh. Look at this. And it didn't cost $2,000. No. Hold on a sec. Oh, there we go. So my daughter got this. This is by Fisher Price Imaginext. And my daughter's had it for God knows how long. Oh, come on now. We didn't know if the battery was still good. So I hooked it up to a charger. To find out. Oh, and the battery might be finally. Oh, there we go. Oh. No, no music. Yeah, okay, battery's dead. But anyway, this thing is an absolute blast. My kids had it for like 10 years. But it's got a bone, it's got a remote so you can pick up. It's heavy as shit. Now my back hurts. Imaginext comes out with some of the best stuff. Fisher Price, one of the earliest toys I ever had as a kid was some of the Adventure People. And I know Stu out there, if he's hadn't jumped ship already, he knows about that. So hey, what's going on, Tony? It's good to see you. Legend Series Wrestling Association. It was a great stream you had last night. It was a lot of fun. I hope you get that job too. But Imaginext is just, look at this. All the shit it does. You move the head up and down, you walk, roars. I think it's got a chaos button. You can just do whatever the hell. It's my kid's toy. I'm showing off her shit like it's mine. Check out my dinosaur, everybody. It's my kids. But got it up, got it charged. Didn't think. I mean, I guarantee you, I haven't put a charge on that battery in at least, God, what, 15 years? Maybe. Yeah, 15 years. Yeah, Fisher Price don't give a shit. Plug it in, 4 hours. Good to go. And we played with it for like an hour. I mean, just running around the room, making it yell, fucking with the cats. Oh, the cats love it. Good times were had by all. But yeah, that I mean, it's definitely not that big old dragon. And I am so glad, as tight as the belt is right now, that I don't have to pay for that fucking dragon at this moment. I have a hard enough time. I really, groceries and living always take precedent. But usually, even when times are tough, I'll still maintain my G.I. Joe collection. But that is coming into question here before too long. If some things don't change, I've got too much shit and I need to sell it. And nobody's buying anything. It's nobody cares if you've got a great deal on a stupid expensive discontinued rare site if nobody's got the money to buy it. Nobody cares about the vamp and and the inbox vehicles and stuff that you've got for sale if nobody's got any money right now. I've got, with my library and all my tattoo equipment, I probably got close to $100,000. But if nobody has any money, that's a pile of metal and a bunch of paper. Oh, you got a rare book, first edition, signed by the author. Cool story. Gumbus says, very cool. But it ain't do you any good. So I have got to figure out how to get some shit sold. Now, my mother I was going to paint something, but now we're just going to talk about me. So my mother, who is amazing woman, recent widower, and she wants me to open an antique shop. And I don't know. It's an interesting thought. I mean, I've pretty much never been out of antiques since I was 3 days old. Um, there might be in a year or two in there where I was distracted, um, or in rehab. Uh, but I don't know. What does a salesman do when he can't um, sell? I can't tattoo anymore. I do have some commission artwork that I still do. Still take on freelance art projects. Of course, it drives me nuts when I can't. It. The thing about commission work is you have to do what somebody else wants, and I like doing that. But I also, like to do my stuff. I don't know. Buddy of mine told me I just need to shut up and paint. But now I'm an hour and 22 minutes into this broadcast, and I just don't feel like painting anymore. I was gonna do it, but show you my cool. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out. Hopefully, I will have an answer by next week. I will have all the line work done on the large watercolor piece that I've got to do. And by I say large, I mean it's a big boy. It's thicky. And I don't know. I might be able to do it from top down, but I got to rearrange a lot of shit to make that work. I know, but I'll be able to do some of it live. And like I said, next week is pretty much, I can tell you right now. I remember what I was gonna do tonight too. I was also gonna talk about audio video stuff, but I don't think. Listen, just here you go. That's it. Shure mic MV7 Plus. You're gonna spend $300 on it. You're gonna be like, that's a lot of fucking money for a mic. It works. And it's all you need. It's all you need. You can plug it in with XLR. You can plug it in. It's got a microphone. It's got USB-C. It's got amazing software that works. It's all you need. Next week, I will be painting 100%. That's pretty much going to be. I'm not going to do a lot of talking next week. Next week is going to be painting, and I will probably have quite a bit of the work already done because I need to get this thing finished. Because that's the thing about commission artwork is until it's done, you don't get paid. So I'm going to check the chat and one more time. Doesn't look like yeah, well, I'm pretty much just a home lump now. So between the seizures, between the massive neck fusion and stuff like that, I can barely even push a lawnmower. So nobody really wants to give me a job. I am probably looking at, and I have no idea how to begin this process, but it's starting to look like I'm going to have to apply for disability. I don't know what any of that means. So we're gonna see what happens with that. It kind of scares the shit out of me just thinking about it. But that mortgage payments come due, you know. I don't know. I don't know a lot of things right now. Still in the process of reevaluating things. So all right. Yeah, well, we'll see. I have no idea how any of that goes. I've yet to begin the process. Um, so we'll see what happens. Thanks, Stu. You're awesome too. Um, oh, and if you are, I should have started the show with this. If you are in the Hooker, Oklahoma area, right along Highway 54 in the Panhandle of Oklahoma, also known as No Man's Land, check out Tucker Sporting Goods. They are a fully licensed FFL now. They taken my little brother has taken over my dad's gun shop. My little brother Ricky, and they've got it up and going. I think they're going to kind of have a soft grand reopening next week. But if you need some of the pew pew pews, definitely worth stopping in. And it's they've got some neat stuff, older antique, hard to find things. That's always what my dad dealt with. A lot of rare ammo, rare pew pew pews. So it's a neat little gun shop. It's in an old damn Kwanzaa. So I keep telling them I need to paint it green and put some MASH emblems on the side or something like that. So, but yeah, end the show with that. Tucker Sporting Goods, your place for all sporting goods. And remember, we never miss. Good luck to my little brother, Ricky. And congratulations on opening your shop, bud. So with that, I'm going to say goodnight to everybody. And I am going to read a little quote randomly selected. And here we go. Thomas Morell, 1703 to 1784. See, the conquering hero comes. Sound the trumpets, beat the drums. Good night, everybody. Have a great evening, great week, and I will see you Friday with Nostalgia Unboxed on Figure Fight Club. Thanks, y'all, for joining me. Have a great night.